Hey everybody, happy Thursday. I want to talk quickly about an update on Miss Carly Russell. She is the CNA nurse, black woman from Alabama that they found her Mercedes parked on the side of the highway with the hazard lights on, and she had made a 911 call that there was a white baby in a diaper on the side of the highway, and had the whole nation in a tizzy looking for this black woman. And she shows up like 3 days later at her parents' house and said that a white couple kidnapped her and took her to the hotel, played in her hair, and painted her fingernails. Now, if you think I'm getting the story mixed up because I don't have my notes, that is false, baby. That is what she did and what she said, honey. So, anyway, she was charged. I tell you something, this is the best lipstick. Look at that. Because, I got black lips. Look like I was weed smoking, but that's from my ancestors. Anywho, um, so anyway, she pleaded not guilty but apologized. And the judge was like, nah, I have for you guilty. You're gonna pay restitution and some fines of $18,000, whatever. And we're gonna give you 6 months for each count, be a year in total. Her lawyer declined that, saying that she was having a mental break or she's about to have a mental break and blah 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 and yitty 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 and whatever, whatever. So they taking this to trial. Now, didn't she learn nothing from Tory Lanez? Girl, don't take this to trial. Take it, take it, take it. Now, I don't know nothing about the court system and how, if you reject it there, can you go back and say, nah, I changed my mind? I don't know. But Tory did the same thing, and now he's doing 10 years, honey. And what's going to happen is, I think they're going to give you the max because this is Alabama, honey. You're not going to get a jury of your peers. There's not going to be 20-something-year-old black women on that stand, honey. Don't do it. This is not New York. This is Alabama. And the judge was like, well, this is her first offense. She shouldn't do any jail time. I agree. I agree. Restitution and fines, whatever. I think she should have got probation. There's nothing like this on the books, as far as precedents. She would be the first one. This is her first offense. She lied and wasted taxpayer dollars, but yes, pay that back. Jail time, I don't think so. It's going to cost them more than $18,000 to take care of her in jail, especially if she has a medical situation. Because you know how immigrants and prisoners get real good health care. So, anywho, oh, I hate when you nice to people and they don't get it. Anyway, this is my road rage. So I don't think that's a good idea. I think she should have did it with good behavior. I don't think she would have did a whole year. I think she would have did 3 months, 4 months max. But I don't know nothing about the justice system. I'm just going by, my ignorance and watching Law and Order shows. But consequently, I get it because people have done lesser crime. No, like I get the lawyer not saying that she doesn't deserve jail time. That's why I say I get it because people have done worse and they get off on probation. Much worse. They get off on probation. You shake babysitters shaking babies, causing death, getting probation. Shit like that. A kid who was drunk driving, getting diagnosed with affluenza. Uh, it's a disease because he's affluent, getting probation, and people died. I don't think she should have gotten jail time based on all the statistics. However, I know this is Alabama and this is as good as it's going to get. Unfortunately, I believe if she goes to trial, she's going to get more than a year. But we'll see this play out. We'll see this play out. A lot of people think that the parents had something to do with it. I'm of the belief upper middle class black family. I do not believe that the parents had anything to do with the plan. However, I think they definitely, and by they, I believe primarily the father seems very much so removed mentally. I think the mother had a hand in covering it up. I don't think they planned the actual thing. I think she came back home and they were like, okay, we're going to help you fix this. And it just didn't work. So moving on, Jada Pinkett Smith, who is now turning out to be my favorite troll. My favorite troll used to be 50. I find him fucking hilarious. The second best troll on the internet, which 50 might have gotten dethroned, is Vlad TV. Um, you know, but I think Jada now is the best troll on the internet. She's going around because she has a book going on. I think she sat down with Hoda. I believe I'm saying that right. I heard people say a different version. I believe it's Hoda. I'm going to say Hoda. Her name Hoda, right? And she talks about how technically Jada talks about technically how her and Will have been separated since 2016, pretty much a paperless divorce. And that's how they've been living their life since 2016. They made a pact that they will never divorce, but they probably pretty much live their life like they're divorced. And she goes on to say that she thought the infamous slap heard around the world was a skit. And although I believe she is a troll, I kind of believe it because she smiles. And people thought that smile was, yeah, you got that nigga. But if all of the information, content matters and hindsight being 2020, if you guys are living your life like you're divorced, and hence why she had that situational shit with August Alsina and Will was like, all right, because they're living their life like divorced friends who have children, and we kick it. We might have sex from time to time, but we pretty much have a paperless divorce, which I think is cool. I really do think it's cool. When you love somebody, but the relationship and the romantic relationship and the husband and wife relationship don't work out, you love them, you guys could live together, you could cohabitate, you could raise and rear kids together in the same house, but you pretty much have outside sexual relationships or even love relationships. That love doesn't go away. Like I've said it before, I will love my husband for the rest of my life, unless he does something super egregious to me where that love just dissipates, like abuse or whatever. But cheating, no, that's not a thing to get rid of the love you have for somebody. So I think Jada and Will are the same way. They love each other forever. They're just not living the traditional husband and wife life. They have this other life that they have created for themselves. So anyway, I think she thought it was a skit. And at first, I thought it was a fucking skit too. No, that is so out of character for anybody to risk it all for a woman that you are, for all intents and purposes, divorced from. Anywho, and mind you, divorces are expensive and ugly and nasty, and you have to get the courts involved in your business. Unless you want to marry somebody else, which it seems like they don't want to do, you don't have to get a divorce. Like a legal, sorry, you don't have to get a legal divorce. So anywho, that would explain the smile, because she thought it was a skit. And it wasn't until he started screaming and cursing that she said she realized it was real. And I believe that's why she never said anything. You see, like, you got to go back, because people were saying, why isn't she saying anything? Why isn't she defending her husband? She sent him up there and he was protecting her honor, and why she's not defending her man. This makes sense. And I stand 10 toes down back to my original feeling that she did not nudge him, push him, insinuate that he do anything like that. He did that on his own. And we need to hold men, especially black men, accountable for their actions. That's why she never publicly spoke out about it. She didn't nudge him in that direction. That nigga did that shit all on his own. And I believe there was something else going on between Will Smith and Chris Rock. And this was a level of disrespect that Will felt it was onto him because that's still his wife. And if you disrespect my wife in public, you're disrespecting me. I don't think this directly had anything to do with Will feeling the need to protect the honor of his wife. I think Will felt personally attacked and disrespected. That's why Jada didn't say anything and do no press junkets defending the actions or even apologizing for her husband. Makes sense. Makes sense. But that doesn't negate the fact that I still believe she is a very huge, big fucking troll. But I love it, girl. I love it. One thing about the internet is it is gonna get you paid. It's very easy to get you paid, and we're all sheep. We're all fucking sheep. Get that bag, girl. Write that book. People are gonna read it because you guys have created a mask on your relationship, and people are dying to peek in, honey, and let them peek in for your coin. For your coin. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. I love it. Big troll. Yep. Um Big troll. I'm I'm relishing in my proudness of this black woman working the system and doing whatever the hell she needs to do. Like I really do enjoy. Like you're not acting anymore. Well, you might be acting because you're an actress. This might all be an act, and you and Will go home and y'all have a completely different life than what the fuck you're telling us sheep. Who knows? Who knows? But it's salacious. It's newsworthy, and people are talking about it. People, even me, I'm talking about it. And good for you, Jada. Carly, I don't know what you were doing. I really do believe you come from a strict household. And even though you were an adult, you had a boyfriend, but you wanted to get dick from somebody else. And you use this opportunity to get your back blown out and your head banged up against the headboard by some nigga in dreads who smell like Black and Miles and Hennessy. And I think you used the opportunity to have this big sexcapade, not knowing that this will turn into a whole national thing. And you were like, "Oh shit, I gotta go. I done fucked up." I think you wanted to go slide off, and do you on the side, and it fucked around. Like you made too much of an elaborate scheme. And I think you didn't realize. I think you took advantage of the fact that black women aren't protected and we don't get media coverage, but the tides are changing now. People are advocating and fighting so much so that Gavin Newsom wants to put out this ebony alert system specifically targeted for black children so we could find them quicker. And the only time I know anybody uses the word ebony is in their Pornhub searches. So I'm very curious to know what is in the browser history of Gavin Newsom for him to use the word ebony. I love it. Because I use ebony because, if you go onto Pornhub, it's very, on the main page is very much so vanilla. And I can't get off to that. To me, it's watching Barbie and Ken bang. I can't do it. I need some color. I need some contrast. I've said that before. I need contrast and I need color. So, you got Barbie and Ken with their perfect bodies and the vaginas that are different looking than mine and augmented, and a lot of them have surgery on it to make it look infantile. Um, I don't know how all natural women on the planet have one labia longer than the other, but not these porn stars if they didn't get a surgeon to fix it. So that doesn't do nothing to me. So you got to go to the little magnifying glass and put in a search and type in Ebony BBC, interracial, Ebony BBW, Ebony Lesbos, Ebony Dykes. You got to use the word Ebony because, if you're an old porn watcher, that's how they used to describe. They didn't write black girls. It was Ebony. Ebony sexy. So here, Gavin, I see you, buddy. I see you. We here. We here. Ebony. I love it. I love it. But how I feel about the alert, I don't think uh, intent, right? I'm going to go by intent. I think he has good intent. The black children make up a lower percentage of the population in Texas, but have a high percentages of missing children. Right? It's not the most. It's still more white kids, but when you do the math on it, the percentage of black children versus the percentages of the total number of missing children is disproportionate based on the population. Right? Did I explain that right? Okay, good. So I get the intent, and the program is supposed to put the alerts out quicker and stuff like that. Okay, I get the intent, but should we just so objective perspective? I'm a white parent. I have a white child missing. The Ebony alerts go out after 12 hours, but the Amber alerts go out after 24 hours. I don't know the rules. I'm using this as context, right? I'm gonna want my kid on the Ebony alert. When you have a missing child, it doesn't matter color, creed, race, whatever. You have a missing child. If I had a white child, if I'm a white woman, a white child, put that child on the Ebony alert. Put that child on the Ebony alert. I'm not going to feel good waiting an extra 12 hours for my kid to go on the Amber alert system. Now, please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I don't know if that's the numbers, but the time frame between Ebony alert versus Amber alert. But I do know Gavin Newsom said something about we're going to do things to help find these kids faster. I don't know what these things are, but the Ebony alert is to help find these kids faster. I'm going to want my kid on whatever alert system goes out quicker, whatever measures they have to find them quicker. That's what I'm going to want. I get the intent, Gavin, but should we nationally make the program one program and do what we need to do for all the missing children to help find them faster? If you have to put out an Ebony alert to separate and do measures to find kids of color faster, that means there's a problem in the whole system. So let's change the whole system. Now, y'all know I cape for black people all the time. I will always be a superhero for blackity, black. And a part of me believes that if there could be Jewish schools and Chinese schools and religious-based schools, I still do think there needs to be more Pan-Africanized schools. I do. And if I could find a Pan-African school in my area, my kids, my biracials would definitely be going there. But they're far and few in between. And the one I did find, a charter that was in New York City, didn't get renewed. They closed. And they closed because they couldn't find a building. Not that their charter was renewed. So they pretty much have a zombie charter license to operate, but they don't have a facility because they don't have the funds or the placement to get it. And they were hit hard by COVID, pretty much. That was the only Pan-African based charter school I could find in my state. In my state. And most charters in New York State are in Bronx and Brooklyn. And Queens is highly dense, but they only have what, 12? That's it. If that, 12 or 7, I don't know. Long Island has a few. Westchester has a scattering of them, and Rochester and stuff like that. But the bulk of them are in Bronx and Brooklyn. But I don't think that separating black children from white children so they could get better resources to be found, I don't think that's fair. And I'm a black person. I don't think that's fair, because race does not matter when you have a missing kid. You could have the most racist KKK affiliated swastika face tattooed parents on the globe. You think if they have a missing child and a black family finds that child, they won't be appreciative to that black family? You're a fucking lie. Because when it comes to kids, if you are a real parent and you're not a fucking scumbag, outlier, shitty ass parent, nothing comes before your kids. You could say God comes before your kids. But let me tell you something. If you were put in a situation, nothing would matter for you, for that kid. They would say, denounce your God. I'm going to kill this kid. You going to denounce every motherfucker ever. So you think a super racist, if a black Jewish family found their kid, they would be like, nah, put that little motherfucker back where you found them from? Lies. Lies. Gavin, I like your intent, but change the whole system for everybody. You're making us a target. People are going to hate what you're doing because they're going to think you're caping for the blacks. All right, bye.